United States submarine base at Key West, Florida. A dispatch that quoted President Truman's press secretary, Charles Ross, as saying that President Truman has no knowledge of any secret project by this government that would give substance to the existence of such objects. Ross also said that both the Air Force and the Navy deny that such objects exist.
Like she's singing.
I guess.
She was passed out. She was
It's just her breathing.
I know. I like how it like hits different notes. It's like
Yeah, like it's like different
What is that called?
sheep noises.
when what is it? A theremin? Theremin where it's like do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Theremins are like sci-fi instruments.
Yeah.
It's like these
wah,
metal
wah, wah, wah.
chords that are just up in the air, and you just like move your hand in the air. It's like
Yeah. But like baritoned.
yeah, the baritone version of it.
Because
for
she's breathing through her anus and it's coming out of her mouth is
She's
like what it
so
sounds
gross
like.
and cute. I hate it.
My niece is so excited to steal her for
So
a day.
did she watch that like movie, and that's why
Yeah.
she's obsessed with pugs now?
Yeah, because she was like, Mom, I really want a pug. Will you watch this show with me? So my sister watched it with her. And then my sister was like, Aspen was like, he sounds like a goblin. Ha ha ha. And then we always talk about her being like a little goblin, little gremlin. And my sister was like, we asked Noelle to send pictures of her dog because Aspen loves pugs. And then that's when I hit you up. And you really came through with that breathing one.
The most disgusting video on accident. She gave us the best performance of her life. So I'm blanking on the name of that movie, but it's like something versus the something. It's like two families, right?
Yeah.
And one of the families
It's like
has,
machines and monsters or something weird.
Something weird. And one of the families has a pug. Animated pug. It's an animated movie. But Doug the pug, famous pug, was mic'd up. Like his owners mic'd him up and like recorded him making all of his nasty noises, and that's what they used in that movie. So and, like, he's literally credited because it's full voice acting by the fucking pug. So those are real pug noises you're hearing.
Yeah, and my sister was like, ew, you don't want a pug? Ugh.
Yeah.
And Aspen's like, no, I want one. And then you sent that video to me, so I sent it to my sister,
Yeah,
and now
it's a-
Aspen wants one more.
Yeah, interesting how that. It's the grossest video of Cora. She rolls out of her bed, and so she's half on the bed, half not, and she's upside down, so her like jowls are like all puffed out, and she's making like a few like sounds, and then she like slithers off her bed and slams her face
the little
on the
nub is going.
yeah, her tail is like wagging. She slams her face on the ground and wipes her face on the ground, and then gets up and does a big stretch, and then walks right into the camera. And
the whole time just
just the nastiest. When her face hits the ground, it's like it's so fucking gross.
It's so gross. Yeah, Paula's like, pay attention to me.
I know. Cough it up. Cough it up. Anyway, what's up? My name's Noelle, and I am a dog hairball.
Oh, and I'm Chelsea. I have nothing. It's just so, I was going to say I am the dog hairball, but that was gross, so I didn't want to go that
You
gross.
could also be the dog hairball.
I'll be the dog hairball.
Yeah, be the dog hairball.
I am what Cora coughs up at night.
That's phlegm. Oh my god. Anyway, thanks for hanging with us, guys. We couldn't record on Thursday because we were trying to record remote, but Chelsea was trying to use a tin can.
Yeah, I was actually
and dental
how
floss.
dare you? I tried to upgrade to an actual potato that I just yelled into.
Yeah,
And then it just sounded like an airline pilot.
It was so crazy because like when we got on a system that sounded pretty good, I sounded fine.
Yeah.
I sounded totally fine. And then Chelsea sounds like literally the mumbling airplane pilot 15 minutes before you're about to. And it's like,
that was the first time I'd ever like used those headphones. I thought I was like all jazzed. I'm like, let's fucking record remote, man. I got headphones. I got a little speaker that's attached to them, and then
just because it has a speaker attached to it doesn't mean it's good.
I don't know. So I had to order those like expensive
Razer
ones. Yeah,
it's not that expensive. There's worse.
yeah. So
those are like a 2019 model too. But
if those don't work, then I'm just gonna send them to whoever plays games where they need, and then just
it's Amazon, you idiot. You could just return it.
I'd die first.
It's so easy to return things on Amazon. They said you could return it in the same package it came through.
I don't have a printer to print my
You don't need
Oh
to.
my God. You know what, Noelle? Maybe I don't want to.
It's 2021. Literally, they're like, put it back in the package that it came in or
just
whatever.
Eat it
and
and
just
we'll
throw
get
it
it
out the window and
Yeah.
a bird will get it. We're
Yeah.
Amazon. We don't
Yeah, I know.
care. Literally, they give you like 7 free options. There's like, drop it off at a Whole Foods and you just literally, boop, that's it. They're like, okay, bye, thanks. And you're like, you're welcome. Or it's like an Amazon locker drop off, which is at like gas stations now. Or like fucking Kohl's. Like there's so many like... Yeah.
Kohl's is something I haven't thought of in years.
Yeah, they're like, whatever. If there's a place,
You're right.
you just throw it out the window.
You give it to the guy who's doing heroin outside of your apartment. He also knows where to deliver it.
Yeah, I had to like... Yeah, the cops called on him again.
Oh, that's fun.
My landlord's getting a gate now to put up.
Oh.
It only took like someone doing heroin, nodding off and leading their empty bag in front of my door for them to do something about it.
Well,
With peace and love, do your heroin, just not in front of my fucking door.
yeah. Do it like on the sidewalk.
Dollar Tree's down the street. Go do it back there.
Do it in the place where I saw that lady taking a full-on poop on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
That's
there's
prime
so many places.
It's prime
So many
territory.
places. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying get it the fuck out of my face. Anyway, thanks for hanging with us.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the late episode, but I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, you started it by just sending me like a bunch of TikToks. Well, you sent me a TikTok, and I was like, "Bro, where should she get a microphone?" And then you also sent me
It was
YouTube
a tiny
videos.
microphone, by the way.
It was like what Bob Barker uses
No, it's like a
on
fucking...
Price is Right.
It's the tiniest little...
That was what I focused on. And then you sent me a bunch of YouTube videos that I watched 12 seconds of because they were insufferable. Couldn't do it.
Oh my God. I spent, since we failed recording on Thursday, I spent that night on the YouTube channel. And it's like the most brain rotting. And what I would like to say is, like, I was laughing because everything that she was saying is shit that I constantly hear. Like, no one talks about the pipeline from like crystal energy, zodiac obsessed, to anti-vax, anti-science, to like anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. No one talks about that pipeline. It's a straight fucking line.
Yeah, you like sent me a voice memo where you were like yelling at me.
I was yelling at
You're like, nobody gets it. This is bullshit. I've been fucking calling it. And I was like, Noelle, you're hurting my arm. And then that was it. And then it like went away like voice memos do. I couldn't even like play it again in a more calm space.
Yeah. Well, because I was like, I felt hysterical. Like laughing in the sadness laugh of like, oh my God, this is exactly what I expected. It happened.
It's like the stuff that you love to make fun of and we love to be like exaggerate about, like personified.
It is. And that's the thing is like, we are constantly making fun of these types of people and these types of beliefs.
But Spencer Pratt, if you're listening,
Yes.
please answer my emails.
Chelsea got ghosted. She's upset.
I know. Spencer Pratt ghosted me.
I mean, he's probably mourning the loss of Mother God. Which brings us in today's New Age cult.
Yeah, not a cult I think I would want to join because they don't let you sleep.
They don't let you do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And they are called Love Has Won. And for someone who grew up in California fighting the Prop 8 propaganda, I thought this was going to be like a pro-gay rights thing.
You're right. That was like the thing. Like everybody had Love as One.
It was like anti-prop hate. Love Has Won was like the callback.
Yeah.
Which also funny, if you listen to Patreon, the Mormon Church is the one who funded the whole entire Prop 8 shit in Nevada and California.
Yep. Because they got billions of dollars and nothing to do with it except for be fuckers.
God, I hate them.
I wish I had enough money where I could be a fucker.
Yeah, I would do something cooler than that.
Yeah, same. I would
There's that fucking
I'd get like diamonds in my kneecaps or something.
Yeah,
cool.
in your teeth. There's that old Daniel Tosh joke where he goes like, I don't understand, why religions have such a thing against gay marriage. What are you worried about? If you really think that the gays can't make it to heaven, then there's like a whole, linebacker team up at the pearly gates making sure they don't get in.
Yeah.
Like, what does it matter if you truly believe? But it's because they're full of hate, honestly. So anyway, Love Has Won. lovehasone.org calls itself a nonprofit charity spiritual institution,
That's a mouthful.
or as we'd like to simply call it, a new age cult founded by Amy Carlson, or as she will be referred to here as Mom or Mother God.
Oh, and Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
We're not going to spoil what happened to her yet, but happy Mother's Day to a true queen, Earth herself, Amy Carlson. Yeah. You know what's fun is that the internet has been pretty quick to pick up on cults, which is funny because a cult, they were calling them the TikTok cult for a minute. Mm-hmm. It was like this super ginger-haired dude being like, come live with us in this free farming area. And
I could have done that cult.
Yeah. But it was still like, people were like, hey, it looks like there's pedophiles living on your commune.
Wouldn't have wanted to do that cult.
Yeah. But it was like communal living. Like we grow our own food. We do all, all like peace, love, and prosperity or whatever. And everyone was like, hey, this is fucking sketchy. And there was like this whole deep dive where they found out about like people hiding convicts and like abusers and, sex offenders on
Why can't we just have a fun cult? Like the boat cult. The
No
boat
such
cult
thing.
in New Zealand, I think it was.
No
Yeah,
such
the
thing
boat
as
cult, that was fun as hell.
That was a sexist cult, Chelsea. They built a boat for their sexism.
Yeah, but it looked fun as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I would only have to like have babies and be quiet. I can do the least.
You can still do that today. Just get on Hinge, find a Republican Christian man. So you're welcome.
But not in like the paradise of New Zealand.
I mean, fair. There you go.
Thank you.
You can go to like Calabasas. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Sure.
what the point of that is, like, everyone was so quick to call out like this very sketchy man telling people like he would go online and drop their address and be like, we're here, come join us. And everyone was like,
It's a little weird.
hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit.
You can just drop your address though if you have like murder convicts living with you.
Yeah,
What's going to happen? A murder convict's going to come. They're going to get out. Murder convict did.
Yeah. You can't out murder the murderer.
No.
So it's interesting to me that was like super flagged. But then like shit like this kind of goes
Fell through the cracks.
under the radar until something happens. Of course, the inevitability, as always, all these cults, no one takes them seriously. No one talks about them until something fucking happens, which is always the fucking case. So, from the Washington Post, members of Love Has Won looked to Carlson, whom they called Mother God, as their spiritual leader. Carlson maintained that she was a divinity who had lived 534 lives, including as Jesus Christ and Marilyn Monroe. She claimed that she could heal people of cancer and described her group as a, what is that word?
Paradigm
for bringing peace to Earth.
Yeah, she claims that she could cure cancer with the power of love. It's like Rapunzel's tears.
Yeah, little did we know. Chemotherapy? No. Good vibes.
Yeah, and there's also like videos of her where she's like, hey, Robin, what's up? And you're like, who's Robin? She means Robin Williams.
Yeah, so that's another fun thing.
She's like, he just hangs out since his death. We're good friends now.
Yeah, she says that immediately after Robin Williams died, that they were having like internet connection issues, and that the moment they were able to like restart their Wi-Fi router, they read that Robin Williams had died, and they were like, oh my gosh. And then he showed up in her living room and was like, hey, I want to help you. I heard about you. I hear you're great. And apparently they had a big old conversation. And she was like, because she's Mother God, all powerful, all educational, whatever. She was like, hey, you just died. Shouldn't there be like things you need to take care of? And he was like, oh yeah, okay. But I definitely want to like help you on your journey. So then he did whatever you do after you
Robin
die.
Williams had a honey-do list after death.
Yeah. And then came back and now works with her as like a spiritual doctor, which is like she calls on these spirits, like
the spirit of Robin Williams. To help cure you of your cancer.
Yeah.
He played Patch Adams, so he kind of has that experience
He's
as a doctor.
MD. Who would have known?
I didn't ever connect Patch Adams to after death cancer curing. So
Love Has Won is what I'd like to point to as the inevitability. When we talk about New Age beliefs, this is referencing the psychedelic-induced practices that really took off in the 70s, which you can still see your local farmer's market unwashed couple practicing when they balance a quartz crystal on their newborn's head rather than give it life-saving vaccinations.
That is poignant.
And that is literally like the truth. When you say New Age beliefs, if you were to like Google that, it would pull up like the New Age spiritual quasi science is like what they like to call it.
Only
Shit
eat
that-
raw foods.
Yeah,
type
like shit
people.
that really went off in the 70s. That's literally what we're talking about. Like
Yeah.
when people are talking about like higher vibrational levels, good vibes, like bad energy, like people who are obsessed with zodiac, whatever, like that's all in the New Age beliefs. And it is, and truly in all seriousness, it's included but not limited to rainbow gatherings, which is just a fancy word for communal living and communal living festivals. UFO obsession, belief in crystal energy, blaming the moon for your problems, alternative medicine, chakra healing, and believing that you are God.
I don't want them to. Can we say appropriate? I don't want them to appropriate UFO obsessions.
Well, I mean,
You can't have that.
The Realians is the greatest example. The
Yeah,
Realians
I
is
guess you're
literally
right.
a cult based off of aliens and UFOs.
I do like blaming the moon for your problems, though. I
It's
think
a
that's
one.
fun.
It is a fun one.
Chakra healing, alternative medicine, believing you're a god, crystal energy.
I mean, here's the thing about chakra healing is that like what chakra, and I'm totally speaking out of pocket here, but like chakra healing and like I don't know, like accounting for your chakras is like Indian or Middle Eastern,
Yeah.
right? Like genuinely their religious practices. And the people who you see like peddling this shit now is like, you know, Kathy
Whitewashed. Yeah.
and her white dreads.
Yeah.
You know
who
what
bought
I mean?
the wolf shirt at Walmart
Yeah.
and thinks that she's a hippie
And you're
now.
like, baby, stop.
Yeah.
It's all the cart shit again. Like that's where we always run into problems is where people just cherry pick their beliefs. And it's like, okay, so you believe in like, you know, your root chakra and like your root chakra's out of line, which is why you're all moody and shit. But like you have just taken one aspect of an entire culture's religious beliefs.
Yeah.
And you've turned it into the reason why you have Moldavite earrings.
It's all dress up, but none of the sewing.
It's literally cosplay. It's like, it's so fucking weird. But anytime you see people doing that, which is, you know, all these bitches that we see nowadays, you're going to run into problems. Like,
Yeah.
period. Period, point fucking blank. So to this day, as I mentioned, I spent some time on it. To this day, you can jump on YouTube and watch these captivating rants and messages.
They're not captivating
They're,
at all.
they're captivating. From God herself. Their YouTube channel is called 5D Full Discourse. And as Chelsea informed me, they're on the 5th dimension. And we, all of us, the rest of us on Earth, are on the 3rd dimension.
Yeah, it's all like vibrational stuff. They think when they say it's the end of the world and they want to ascend, it's like a spiritual ascension where they can see love and light or the other dimensions. And not like light as we see it, but like the light of one's like inner light or like the light of spirituality is what they see. So they're on 5th dimension, we're on 3. Fucking plebs.
I honestly don't want to be on 5th if it means I have to hang out with them. No, thank you.
I, for like 12 minutes, was like, 5G, what does 5G have to do with it? And then I was like, oh, 5D.
5D.
Yeah.
5D, not to be mistaken with.
No.
5D.
Because I was also like, oh, they also hate 5G. That tracks because as
The
we
pipeline.
know, it fucks up your vibrations. The 5G
it's
does.
all literally, you can go left to right, right to left. The pipeline of new age hippies going into science denial,
Yep.
going into anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
Yep.
Baby, it's a straight fucking line.
Yeah.
It's a straight line.
It's their bullshit chakras, not the regular chakras, but it's like the chakra of like tea meets with the chakra of crystals off of Etsy.
Yeah.
Meets with the chakra of not vaccinating your baby.
Yeah.
They're like, want all that
Yeah.
to be aligned. Like Hercules. Like,
Yeah. It's truly like, if you work backwards from the most extreme, it's like really fun. You're like, okay, they're like, the Jewish people, the Jewish cabal is controlling the government and trying to control our minds. They are doing this through 5G. 5G is an energy that puts off your chakra waves. It interferes with your chakras, closing off your third eye and diluting your mind with the thoughts that they have put into it.
And they're blocking your third eye by giving you vaccine.
Yeah. And the vaccines
for the
are
virus
also,
that the Jews released.
yeah.
Yep.
And then they're like, you take one step back and they're like, every day to try to prevent my third eye and chakras from being, taken over by the 5G Jewish energy, I wear amethyst on my neck.
And also only eat organic twigs.
And I hula hoop at the park.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. Literally, it's the pipeline. The pipeline is there. The pipeline is there. For every bitch trying to sell you incense and shitty weed, she also probably believes that the Jews run the government. So anyway, back to these motherfuckers, because that's who we're talking about this whole fucking time, by the goddamn way. These aren't just like, we're not just making stereotypes. These are them. These are those people. They honestly, genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that with every fiber of their being and after.
And then they flip it on its head by making a monotheistic religion with one person at the top who just so happens to be Amy.
Yeah. Ames, or as she likes to be called here, Mother of God, Mother God, Mom, whatever. Like, she truly believes that not only is she God herself, she created the universe, she created Earth, she created everything on it. And meanwhile, all that, she's in some like Walmart moo-moo. You're going to tell me God is going to come back to Earth? Because she says that like our prayers were so strong that she was able to come back down in a physical form to Earth to try to save us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're telling me you're God.
That's what she's telling
You're
you.
in fucking Lake Shasta, California.
Yeah.
And you're God?
That's what
No,
she wants
ma'am.
you to believe.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So other people who said no were the God.
I can't help you with this one.
Sagachwe. I don't know. It's outside of Denver. County Sheriff's Office said it had received complaints from families across the county alleging that the group was brainwashing people and stealing from them. Law enforcement and former members have described the organization, which they did not respond to an interview request. They called them a cult.
What's really fun is that like sometimes her own followers will film her and they'll be like, what do you say to people who say that we're not a cult or that we're a cult and stuff? And there's a video of her like laughing, she's saying har, 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 but she gets like millimeters away from the camera and is screaming at like har, har, har. Like, that's what I say. And then she goes, but no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
So Rick Allen Ross, I feel like I have to say Rick Allen Ross because if I just say Rick Ross,
not Rick Ross,
people won't take me as seriously. He wrote a book called Cults Inside Out and described Amy's love has one movement is pernicious. She does a bait and switch on people where they expect a spiritual retreat and then get abused once they get there. So
it's like people come here because they think it's like some like free love. Let's do yoga and
like hot yoga in a year, and then you'll give me tea, and then we all leave. That's not what happens.
No,
they come in and then they're immediately stripped of all of their control. And Rick Ross calls her the fuck out because he's like, well, you're not even unique. And then he lists off like a bunch of different cults that have women who are in charge, who call themselves Mother God. And then he like leans into the camera and he goes, will the real Mother God please stand up? But he says it was such sass. And she's like, it shows her reaction to it. And she's just like, she scoffs.
Yeah,
like,
he pulled a real Slim Shady on her.
Yeah. And the fun thing is like she hadn't ever done an interview with a person until one of my dog's personal favorites, Dr. fucking Phil, came along.
Our good old friend, Dr. Phil.
And her mom and two sisters, like this was late last year, like September 2020. So a mere stone's throw between where we are in time now. And she's so dismissive of her family. Like she literally believes she's God. So anything that they say to her, she's like, that's fine. You can say what you want about me because I'm a loving person. I'm
Yeah.
also Jesus and Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, also another one that I forgot to add was that she also thinks that her father is Donald Trump. And I kind of like don't know like mathematically how that even adds
I
up.
don't know how that even ties in.
But she just like, it's like whoever you want, she's throwing her shit on. But again, this might be hurtful to hear for some of you, but remember that pipeline we talked about where you get, you start at, your zodiac chart and end in anti-Semitism. Because naturally, when you start to like sway in this like this science denial shit, you also accidentally kind of get embraced wholeheartedly into the right.
Yeah, if Republicans are like, come,
Yeah.
we'll pray upon this.
Yeah, we'll pray with you. We think that you guys deserve your autonomy to be left alone in the middle of Colorado to brainwash people. I think that's your prerogative. And so to like get some of those types of people on her side, she was also like, I am also the loving daughter of Donald Trump.
Yeah. And
incredible.
Her sisters would just like look at her just like so stone faced, like the way that you would like just watching your dog throw up in front of you, where you're just like, oh, this is my shitty life. And they're like, well, they're like, every video we see her in, she's acting like she's pissed drunk, and that can't be fucking good for her.
Well, she's not acting, she is like, which is super funny.
I have to pee so bad. Keep talking and I'll be right back.
Oh my god, no, we'll pause it.
Pause it. I had all that coffee.
Anyway.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, I'm full of coffee and no food.
It's okay. I needed more drink. So she wasn't just acting drunk. Like she is drunk. And I have a feeling I wrote this down somewhere else, but I'll bring it up here. They're like these two main girls who are like the spokespeople for Mother God when she's
her fans.
Too inebriated to speak on camera. And they talk about like how it's like a no drugs environment, like no fucking drugs. You'll get kicked out if you do drugs, but alcohol is fine. And Mother God consumes alcohol because it's of the earth. Because it's of the earth. Meanwhile, she's polishing off a handle a night to herself. Absolutely belligerent. Like bad.
And they're like, well, she's God.
God, if God is real, God could fucking hold their liquor.
Yeah, right. Like they call him out on like how some of this stuff doesn't add up, and they're like, we're not supposed to understand. I'm like,
it's
Lord have mercy.
With peace and love, it's the catch-all for religion.
It is.
It's the catch-all for religion. It's like, well, you're just a human. You're not supposed to understand. It's not your job to understand. It's like never ask questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, or yeah, you can ask questions here, but you won't get answers.
Yeah.
It's very that.
It's incredible. So last fall, shortly after the Dr. Phil interviews, the group went to Hawaii. They bounced between Colorado, Kauai, and Northern California. And that is where we find out that Mother God's health is failing. And what we're going to find out also is it could be a mix of a few things. For being God, she's pretty weak to human conditions. The members say that she's paralyzed from the waist down, wheelchair bound, and her lungs are going out. And from the videos in Kauai, they specifically went on the trip to Kauai to try to like speed up the healing process because she was saying that she was trying to heal herself. She looks like fucking shit.
Yeah, she looks like the Voldemort baby where they're carrying him around because they literally carry her around like a little baby.
Yeah.
Like, she's a tiny woman.
Yeah. It is fucking rough. And what we find out is it could have been a mix of liver disease from her copious amounts of drinking.
Nah,
but
I don't think
for
so.
sure was the untreated cancer.
I think it was from the physical toll that all of her psychic surgeries of her saving people took on her.
She was also doing a lot of psychic surgeries every night, helping people. According to Civil Beat, the core teachings of Love Has Won are difficult to pin down, Much like any conversation you have with a new age hippie, what's your problem with 5G? Is it the pedophile government? Mind controlling microchips? Say that 10 times fast. Fucked up chakra alignments? But by and large, it seems to be based on quasi new age beliefs. Member Ryan Kramer said, "We are a group based on the ascension of the planet. We focus on astrology, on weather patterns, mainly medicine. Our main form of work is the Gaia's whole healing essentials," which is Greek for the personification of Earth, just for me and everyone else who doesn't fucking know that. We offer other types of healing modalities. So, like, again, the spiritual healings.
Yeah.
All that good
When
stuff.
they say medicine, they don't mean like over-the-counter medicine.
No, they're not giving you NyQuil.
They're like giving you roots and berries.
Yeah. They like make their own fucking potions and shit. So, September 2020, the group also sold junk science nutritional supplements and colloidal silver and gold, which is creating silver and gold ointment as medicine, which is also like something that will tie in later to a different part of the story. The story's inevitable end, I would say, where they talk about like people's skin changing colors. Probably because they were using the actual they were ingesting actual fucking silver.
Yeah, probably not meant to be ingested, but I am not a doctor.
I am a doctor, and I'm saying don't eat silver.
Yeah, unless you want to like. Unless your stomach is a bank.
Right?
Yeah.
If some fucking hippie who doesn't even use deodorant has made you like a blend of like roots and berries and silver and is like, drink it to get all the demons out of you. You're like, maybe not.
You're like, maybe the roots and berries would have been fine, but you put mineral poison in there. I don't think I can eat this.
Yeah. So a little bit about our God. Amy Carlson grew up in Dallas and was a straight A student. But in her early adult life, she began to go a tidbit off the rails. When she was around 30, she became interested in New Age philosophy and crackpot YouTube videos.
Yeah, those are dangerous.
Always.
You got to go into those with a clear mind, and you got to, dare I say, stay grounded.
You do.
With alcohol.
Yeah, maybe.
If you're going in, you got to be careful, man. Because remember that like 12-hour thing where I was like, what if the earth is flat, Noelle, and you had to like physically attack me?
Yeah.
I had to be reborn.
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
Yeah.
They can get you. And it's like, that's where the whole, like, as much as I get pissed off at Google for like pushing down the videos that I'm trying to find, shouts out to them.
Yeah.
Because as much as she probably considers herself a very strong-minded person of strong will and fortitude, much like all these other motherfuckers out there, it's just like, how do these YouTube videos that look like they were made in MS fucking Paint get these motherfuckers so good? What the fuck are they doing? They're all talking about pyramids and old gods and shit, and then it ends on like, kill your neighbor. And you're like, what? Well, how did we get here?
Mediocre people wanting to be special.
It's incredible.
And
it's so incredible.
She thought she was special enough that the angels told her that she needed to do all of this. Take up Love Has Won, all of it in order to save mankind. So she just said fuck off to her whole family, including her children.
She left her third husband, children, and her job at McDonald's and cut off her family completely to start Love Has Won in around 2006.
And her poor children, they have written her off as being totally crazy. They have absolutely no relationship with her. Her two oldest children have seen the videos of her online and the ones that her followers release about her. At one time, like, Amy did reach out to her oldest son to meet, but after she tried to get him to join the cult, he like didn't want anything to do with her. And just for context, she left her children when they were 2, 7, and 12. And when she was asked about it, like, how, if you're like mother, you can't be mother God and then literally abandon your children.
Yeah, not be a mother.
And she was like, well, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to abandon them. But the angels were like, you're literally the only one who can do this. So I had to put like world's needs first.
Yeah. What is a king to a god?
Yeah. She literally just like showed up at baby daddy's doors and then gave them the custody papers and was like deuces and left. But even like before that, she wasn't a good parent, so her children really aren't missing out on anything.
Yeah, no love lost.
There are videos of Amy running her cult where she locked a little kid in a closet when he wouldn't stop crying, like a 2-year-old. And I would say a 2-year-old's probably still about baby. They're still baby.
Still baby. Yeah, that's the fun and terrifying thing is that this cult grew off of YouTube. And they were constantly recording themselves, and she was constantly recording messages, etc., etc. And because of this is where you see her having her vengeful, rageful outbursts at other cult members. This is where you see her lock the crying child in a closet.
Yeah, she's like, the baby goes in the closet till it stops crying. And you're like, it's a baby. You can't reason with a baby.
Yeah.
She's like, well, we only put it in for 2 minutes. I'm like, ma'am?
2 minutes in a closet.
A dark
27
closet?
years of trauma.
Yeah, right?
And then one of the craziest videos too was she's clearly fucked up. And if you've ever seen someone fucked up on alcohol, it's that the drunk sway, the closing eyes. It's a very specific mannerisms and body language, and it's very clearly someone just absolutely blackout drunk, right? And she grabs a fucking cat.
Yeah.
She's trying to hold a cat, and if anyone knows cats, they don't really love that. Not big fans. And the cat just tries to get away, and she grabs it by the neck and just holds it up and is shaking it. And
saying stop being a bitch to her cat.
And it's meow. It's making all these fucking distressing sounds and shit.
And she's just like, I'm just trying to teach boundaries.
Bitch. And
ma'am, no.
As much as I love to cuss like a sailor, the way that they cuss is very a slurred speech to alcoholic. So when she calls the cat a bitch and she calls everyone assholes, we posted it on Instagram, but just for the sake of everyone being able to hear it.
Self-important bitches and assholes. Your time is up. And Great Spirit, I got your number. Again, ye ignorant, self-important
bitches and assholes.
I love that.
And I would just describe her outfit. She's wearing clearly some sort of crystal necklace. She has what I'm assuming used to be a beaded necklace, and she's just put it on her head.
It's very that.
And I love that. And I was telling Chelsea when we were in our document, I was trying to chat with her in a side conversation on it. I
wasn't paying attention.
Isn't it crazy how just any mediocre white woman just puts a necklace on her forehead and is I'm awoken. I am the chosen one.
It's the same when you're a little kid and you put on mom's high heels and you're am princess.
Yeah.
It's that exact same energy,
Same thing. They just take the thing that should be here. It's very I don't know if did you ever read Captain Underwear?
Yes.
It's put the underwear on the head.
Now you're a hero. Oh, yeah.
She's the same thing. She's the necklace, chunky statement piece necklace. On my forehead, I am God.
I've done that before for cosplay where I needed a head thing. I'm why make it when I'll just put this necklace on my head and use a bobby pin to hold it in place? Yeah. I didn't think I was a god.
Well, you were wearing it right.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, you got to make sure it goes on just right.
It's always the pendant has to be right in between that third eye.
I wasn't drunk enough. I wasn't drunk enough to think I was God yet.
Yeah, polish off a handle of vodka.
I mean, I feel like I already drink enough, and I still haven't hurt anyone emotionally or verbally, as far as I know. But I could try harder.
I'll
put the necklace on my head.
Put the necklace
again.
on your head. Come back and tell me what it's like.
It puts the necklace on the head, or else it gets put in the closet again. So,
oh shit. Amy, like most assholes, came up with her own nickname and forced everyone to call her by it. And that's where Mother of God or Mom came from. Group members believed that Mom had been living through her 534th reincarnation. What a weird number, by the way. And that she'd been trying to save humanity for 19 billion years. At least these guys believe in the dinosaurs. You know, if you're going to make up a religion, at least believe in dinosaurs. And that she would soon lead 144,000, quote, chosen ones into a new mythical dimension. Which also, what a weird number. Again, 144,000. Yeah. Just like her most viewed video. And she's like, those guys, they get to come. The 144,000 people who watch this video, they get to come on the spaceship with me.
Also, if you like do the math Like, there's no way she could have been around 19 billion years if she's lived 534 lifetimes, because like the average of it being 30 to 50 would only put her like 11,000 years before the birth of Christ.
She's not good at math, okay?
Me
She's good
either.
at drinking alcohol.
I didn't do that math. Dr. Phil did that math.
Yeah, I love they did call it out. Also, the Dr. Phil interview is online. Feel free to watch
That's-
it.
Well, don't watch it because that's where I got all my research from.
Okay, maybe don't watch it, but you can watch them because they get fucking dragged for filth on that interview, and then they
Yep.
get mad and they go on their personal YouTube channel and do a rebuttal, which is incredible.
Yep.
Mom was just in full consciousness for her whole life, said a woman who identified herself as Hope, which again, the made up names. So that's the other thing is like, you're like, why are these people drawn to this mediocre white woman? And it's because she preaches this like ego death, no egos here. Like I am on such a higher vibrational level that I don't even have an ego. Bitch, please.
And they all want to be like
yeah,
that.
they all want that. They're like, I don't want no drama. I don't want no problems. You know what I mean? Like, I want to live like an egoless life. Like, I want to like be able to meditate and have a clear mind and a clear head and like all this fucking shit, right? It's that shit that gets sold on you when you go to like your 100th yoga class.
It's a superiority complex, like wrapped in a selfless bow.
Yeah, truly. Truly, though. That's the whole fun part about people who are like, I want to meditate so hard that I don't have an ego anymore. So I can be what? So you
Better
can be
than
what?
you.
Better than everyone else?
Yep.
Baby. I'm going to tell you, no matter how much meditation you do, you still a fucking asshole.
Yeah, you ain't better than Cora over here. You think you're better than Cora?
She has no ego. This is the most egoless person I know, that dog.
Yeah.
There are multiple key differences between a cult and a religion, but as The Guardian noted, two of those key differences involve a charismatic leader who becomes an object of worship and indoctrinating members through isolation, coercion, and other tactics like never letting anyone into fucking sleep, torturing people, starving them, you know, the classics.
Yeah, it's fun. The fun
Mother
stuff.
God required 3 key things of her followers, according to a quick Vice documentary that they did on this. Pandering to her every need, which you can see even pre the untreated cancer. She was getting like carried in by like the beefiest man that they had on the lot.
Yeah.
She would just be like dozing off because she like drank a box of wine to herself and forcing people to get her like chicken parmesan.
Oh my God, that was my favorite when they brought her spaghetti and meatballs, and she
Yeah.
was like, "My vision was for chicken parmesan," and is just screaming.
It's
till
one
her
of the
throat
most
bleeds.
yeah, it's one of the most incredible video. But she has no ego.
No, she doesn't.
She has no ego.
But the way she's
She
like, my
is
vision.
vibrationally above us. How
Yeah.
dare you bring her spaghetti and
vision-
meatballs?
My vision was for chicken
Yeah.
parmesan.
So what we're talking about here
Put
is
that on a shirt.
my vision was for chicken parmesan. We get her face.
Yeah.
My vision was for
Her
chicken
just
parmesan.
screaming.
So there's a video, and they all look like they're recorded on a fucking Motorola Razr, by the way.
yeah, they use the same recording equipment I do for virtual, like for virtual
Yeah.
recordings.
And she's in her room, and someone brings her in food, and it's spaghetti and meatballs, and she has a full-blown stage 5 breakdown about it. But
Oh, it's
again,
so
she's so
funny.
enlightened. She's screaming hysterically, blood-curdling, like top of her voice, like cursing every word in the dictionary, and inevitably getting to the ultimate sentence I've ever heard. My vision was for chicken parmesan.
Yeah. I feel you though, because like sometimes like people bring like someone will bring you something.
I like meatballs. But
Yeah.
my vision was for chicken parmesan. And you're like, damn.
It's like when you really want Mexican food, but like Uber Eats only has stuff for Chinese, and you're like, they're both good, man, but
Yeah, I get
craving
it. I get
craving
it.
Mexican food.
It's incredible.
She claims up and down that she only speaks love and only love.
Yeah, my type of love.
Yeah, and she's like, when I'm yelling, it's not aggressive. It's just how I express myself when I'm angry. But it's not anger. It's not
not
anger.
her anger.
It's passion.
Yeah.
So she feels really passionate.
Yeah.
So like Aurora and Hope, there was an interview with them, and they're calling her Mother God and everything. And one thing that they brought up was when they were questioned, like, well, what's wrong with her? If she's God, why is she so broken and frail? And like, well, she does spiritual surgeries. She takes the brain out, fixes it, and puts it back in the skull.
With Robin Williams.
With her brain, though. She doesn't physically touch people. She just does it over the phone. Says she's done it.
Like a good doctor.
Yeah. Says she's done it 100,000 times. She's like, it can take 20 minutes to an hour. The goop of it is that she charges up to $100,000 per session.
Yeah. So those are the other two tenets that she brings to the cult is, besides the pandering to her every need with chicken parmesan, leaving their old lives behind and bringing money to the organization, which is why family members and friends and loved ones of people who have been brought into the cult are like, okay, if you don't want to take our brainwashing complaints seriously, they're stealing.
Yeah. And her followers really aren't that bothered by her drinking that much because, you know, her body has taken a toll by taking on all of the brain problems from these people. And so she's deteriorating her own body. And she can't numb her pain because she signed a contract, a cosmic contract with humanity that she has to suffer.
I love that for her.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I remember suffering on the cross. I'm just suffering now. That's how she explains it.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
And they defend her alcoholism. Like,
the way that they defend her alcoholism, it's like, I wish I had someone gaslighting me that hard.
Right? I want someone to gaslight me about how good I look despite my shitty diet. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, queen, is that an ab? And I'm like, I don't think. Is it?
Another
it's just
roll?
one roll. Yeah.
It's truly incredible. Like, if it's like the people who write Shameless, the TV show, should be like watching their videos about how they excuse the alcoholism. It's incredible.
And so they talked to some former members who were actually in the cult. And one lady named Ashley, she was only there for 2 months. And when she first tried to join Love Has Won, everyone was like, well, you have to fix your vibrations.
Bad vibes.
Or you can't hang out.
Bad vibes.
So this was done by not being allowed to sit or sleep because they didn't want her to steal energy from Mother God. So like if she was sitting and like regaining her energy, she was siphoning it away from Mother God. So that's why they keep them tired.
Yeah.
And so when she was
sleep, bad vibes.
Yeah. And so they build up this lady and then they finally let her see it. And it's just some woman in a muumuu, like in a hotel room, yelling at people.
She literally is in a muumuu in a hotel room.
Yeah. And people join this cult because they're like, my life sucks. Mm-hmm. I would like to live somewhere where I can just fucking farm and hang out with like-minded people.
Yeah.
And, but you get there and then they first tell you that you have to fix your vibrations. They get you tired and then they don't let you sleep.
Yeah.
So this lady, she said that she just straight up bounced because somebody else tried to leave once and was found like naked on the mountain, totally fucked up on drugs.
Yeah.
And Amy was just really dismissive. She was like, well, Ashley doesn't know boundaries and she's incapable of respecting boundaries.
Yeah, it's just like the shit that they pull to excuse when things go south for them is the same shit that like evangelicals do when you're like, but I gave you $100,000. You said you could cure my mom's cancer. And they're like, but you didn't believe enough.
Yeah.
You didn't follow it well enough. You didn't follow my rules. You must have done this. You.
Yeah, it's always their fault.
Yeah.
Like, there are videos of them, like someone will be trying to sleep and they look like they are messed up, but it's just such a lack of sleep that they're like falling down and not communicating. And you see like other cult members teasing them for like falling asleep and attacking them. And Amy's like, well, this is just like, this is how I teach boundaries so that people sleep properly.
Yeah.
Because if you sleep for 8 hours and you wake up and you're still tired, that means you don't respect sleep energy. So I'll punish you for that.
Maybe that's been my problem all along. I don't respect sleep's energy.
I guess I don't. I'm just a petulant bitch.
Yeah.
And there was another guy who went on a spiritual cleansing trip and he thought it was going to be like a healing retreat. And he was only there for 2 days. But at the end of the 2 days, his family was like, oh, we haven't heard from him. So they were watching the live streams. And on one of the live streams, somebody casually mentioned leaving a guy naked on the side of the mountain. And they were like, this adds up. we haven't spoken to him since they just joked that they left someone on the mountain. It must be him. So they called the police. Police find him. He's like, he thought that he had ascended already. He's like, my spiritual healing worked. And that's because they shoved a bunch of hallucinogenic drugs down his throat and then literally left him on a mountain in Colorado. And
You'll
when the
definitely
cops found
find
him,
something if that
he
happens to you.
was super fucked up.
You
yeah.
will find something. I'm not sure if it's what you want to see, but you'll find something.
She preys on conspiracy theorists who believe in ascension. So it's like the hippie conspiracy theorists that we talked about earlier, not the fun ones such as ourselves, the ones who think that they can not take vaccinations because they'll heal with crystals.
Yeah.
And so she finds these people and she goes, yeah, come on in. We'll cleanse you from like your poison that's in you from vaccines or, you know, from bad vibrations in society. Like 5G comes in and it fucks up your chakras and that's all part of the plan. Come in here and we'll fix it. JK, you have to give me all your money. You have to give me all your stuff. I'm not going to let you sit or sleep. And you have to carry me everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'll scream at you about chicken parmesan.
Yeah. I'll scream about chicken parmesan after finishing an entire, like, 2 handles of vodka. So
this all went really well and nothing happened. That's the end of the episode.
The end.
The end.
The end.
And this is where I originally jumped in. This is where you jumped
this is where we all came in.
Yeah.
We all came in. If you're listening to us right now, probably what we all just talked about is news to you because you know about what we're about to talk about. So, as no surprise to anyone, a woman claiming to be God, refusing medical treatment for cancer, subsequently dying shouldn't be too surprising. But it's how the world found out she died as to why we are all here in the fucking first place. May 5th.
Return of the Fifth. Darth Maul killed her.
2021. Colorado sheriffs respond to a house call from a man saying that he had discovered a woman dead.
Oh, just like regular dead though.
Yeah.
Like in her sleep.
Yeah.
She looked like she was
There's
sleeping.
a dead body here. Oh my God. She must have died in her sleep.
Yeah.
Not only was this woman dead, but this woman was none other than our gal, Mother God. The body was found in a back bedroom, lying on a bed, wrapped in what appeared to be a sleeping bag. Glitter-type makeup was found around the woman's plucked-out eyes.
Oh.
The body was decorated with Christmas tree lights and, quote, appeared to be set up as some type of shrine, according to the arrest warrant. She was also partially mummified, moisture drained from her skin and bones.
This was straight ripped off of Payman.
Right? Literally
Hereditary.
The end of Hereditary.
That's all I see. Like even knowing what she looks like, that's all I see.
Yeah. It literally looks just like the visual image in your head that you can put together based off of the report is that scene at the end of Hereditary.
I don't hate the glitter stuffed in the eyeballs though. I think maybe I would like that.
It's kind of fun. It's a fun twist.
I'm dead. Make it look cool.
Yeah. Also, they were like, the weird thing is like the sleeping bag, like no one had like a nice cloth. I don't know.
But maybe the sleeping bag is like literally the nicest thing they owned because they can be expensive.
It is true. If you look at their setups in any of their live streams, you're like, okay. I guess I'll sleep back. It will do.
Right.
7 group members, including the current father god, 44-year-old Jason.
I bet he's a nice guy.
Castillo. Oh, you think?
Yeah.
He's convicted in states across the country for breaking and entering, DUI, and child endangerment. But he is Father God. One of my favorite streams with him opening up, kind of like, doing a quick 15, like a tight 15 to get the crowd going. He's like, you bitches and assholes. We're in Mother God's world. And like the 2 like blonde haired long hippie chicks are just like nodding like, yes. It's a fucking crazy.
I was hoping it was just him doing one-armed push-ups like under a disco light.
Would have been cooler if it was.
I would have been cheering for that.
I'd
That would have been fun.
Yeah. They are all facing charges of child abuse since kids were found at the home as well, and abuse of a corpse.
Yeah, you can't just pull out someone's eyeballs and shove them with glitter in front of infants and children.
Says who?
The law of the country that we've all agreed upon.
I mean, I guess. Cole Carlson, quote, I'm Amy's oldest child. She's my estranged mother. Everything in my life is very average, except my mom is a cult leader, or was a cult leader, I should say. She was the earth incarnate. She is mother god of all creation, former member Andrew Profafsy said. She created the heaven and earth with Father God, and she is it. She is God. That's what she believed. And this is the son talking in. Some of the details that have slowly continued to come out have been rather shocking to me, honestly, but they're also a cult. You kind of expect weird things to come out of it. I had been expecting for her not to be around much longer. And if there's any version of a happy ending, I guess it would be this. Cole said his family is looking into potential legal avenues to find justice for families and former members who may have paid their life savings to the group.
Yeah, before the Colorado Coven can spend it, all of it. Which
Yeah,
they
if it's
have.
even fucking there. Well, it's more of like, how can we like help these people? And he and like Cole, the eldest son of a mother god, is very much so like, I want her death to fucking end this. I don't want this to continue on. I don't want people to do it in her honor. It seems like they didn't go into detail, and obviously this is all very like new news, like 3 days ago. They're not like coming out and saying they're taking like legal action to try to like stomp the cult out now, but you know,
they're gonna try to take the money away.
Yeah,
hit where it hurts, which they should do.
Yeah, because he's the next of kin.
And it's fun that someone so crazy managed to birth such a level-headed kid, but I think it's because the sisters and the mom kicked down the fucking door and was like, okay, we're mom now. This all just ended up being a very convoluted Happy Mother's Day episode.
It was.
Of like, you don't necessarily have to be the blood mom, but if you're kicking down doors and raising exemplary children who will take your shit money and then give it back to people of who you hurt. Happy Mother's Day to those mothers.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to those mothers. And you know what? Might be a controversial statement. Happy Mother's Day to Mother God.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Happy Mother's Day to Satan.
Also Satan.
Because I don't know, Satan doesn't have a gender. Yeah, Happy Mother's Day to Mother God.
Happy Mother's Day, especially Mother God.
Love how you ended up, actually. Love that for you.
Yeah, love that for you. Definitely love that for you. Was I expecting maybe like a mass suicide? Sure.
Fingers crossed, but
we got this instead.
Yeah.
And I'll take what I'll get.
Yeah, I'm not like greedy.
No.
You know, I could be.
I will say, top 5 cult leader deaths, I'm ranking her maybe, you know, because I do think they completely ripped off the end scene of Hereditary, making her like mummified, done up in glitter and lights like Payman. I want to put her in like my top 3. I do think Jim Jones still has, you know, the creme de la creme, pièce de resistance. Like, not only did he take himself out and everyone else around him and a monkey for whatever fucking reason, he also tried to take out anyone who was coming in to intervene and stop. And I think that's powerful stuff.
Yeah. And, you know, once I heard about the Christmas lights and the glitter in the eyes, like, I would appreciate that myself.
Hashtag queen shit. Hashtag boss babe.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't like sleeping bags so much because I'm always scared a spider will be in the bottom of them.
Sure.
So maybe just like a nice weighted blanket, which I own. You can use the blanket I already own.
It's weird. Like, they could have gone to Target and gotten like a nice throw blanket for like $15.
Oh, they didn't even have to go to Target. They could have just gone to Wally World.
True.
And got one for like $12.99.
Like a nice burnt yellow throw blanket.
Oh, that's it. That mustard yellow is like kind of in.
I know. It's one of my favorite colors.
But you know what? Whatever. They used a sleeping bag. They also had Christmas lights. I would have expected them to not have Christmas lights. I want to think of them more as like those fairy lights.
Yeah, the twinkling ones.
Yeah.
Would have been nice.
You know.
I don't think they have Prime though, so I don't think they were like getting like the fairy twinkling lights. Like, you know, sent overnight.
That glitter is going to stay in that house forever, and that's her real legacy.
True. So
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. It's not the cult that we created, but the dead body we left behind.
Amen.
Amen.